We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Rose Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is Italo from Italo's Blacklash Radio. This is Italo speaking, and we have Azazus right there with the dreads. I'm not wearing any dreads, so you can tell who's who. But yeah, welcome to the live. Welcome to this my podcast. I'm thinking about TikTok for a second. So let me switch back to this. And actually, I have to have earbuds because for some reason I hear better.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. And I'm also hard of hearing. No, I'm not hard of hearing. I just project too much. But yeah, welcome. And so Ah-zays-us is your name.
Yes, sir.
And there's an interesting story as to how you came about, because you gave yourself that name. It wasn't given to you.
Right.
And so there's a history, or there's a story that you want to tell us about your name, right?
Yeah. Do you want the condensed version or the full version?
Let's go with the condensed.
Okay. Condensed version, long story short, I was going by my government name as my artist alias in 2016, and my music was being distributed to a rock band that basically had the exact same name. So I was given 24 hours to come up with a brand new name, and all of my material would be moved for free. So I decided to go to an Orthodox place to find a hip-hop name, and I went to the Bible. I took the archangel Azazel and the iconic name Jesus and fused them together to get Azazus.
That's the condensed version.
Yeah, that's the condensed version.
That's it. Okay. And the next question is, why the archangel?
Okay, so given the opportunity to come up with this new name and representation for myself, I also wanted a name that I felt represented my interpretation of mankind. So I did research on all the archangels, and Azazel was one of the archangels that stood out to me because he was labeled as one of the fallen angels. And so I started thinking about mankind, and I was like, okay, well, when we're born, we're kind of like falling into the mess of our previous, ancestors and everybody that was here and everything that they left us to try to, manifest through and pretty much fathom. And I felt like we were falling into ignorance until, we learn everything around us and we kind of get understanding, and then we come enlightened, which is where Jesus comes into play at the end of the name Azazus, because I feel like the icon Jesus, the name, the person represents enlightenment and the Holy Trinity and all that stuff. Like, the name isn't meant to be taken as like religious, but it has some powerful stuff behind it.
No, yeah, it's got a lot of power. It's not religious. Okay, I understand. And now, yeah, and I'm not gonna go into my Catholic background, but angels are basically, all of us are angels, I think, and we're here, I think, in a non-philosophical or non-religious way. I think we're all here for a reason, and you have a purpose as I do, right? So, question is, what is your purpose?
I feel like my purpose here is to basically speak up and give people a voice that feel like they honestly don't have a voice, or just to give them a friend when they honestly feel like they don't fit into any particular niche or social group. Because I know I felt the same way as a young adult growing up until now. I bounced around so many different social groups, and like, I honestly didn't feel like I clicked with any of them. Like, I got along with them, but it didn't really feel like I belonged. So Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all feel that way. Um, Not belonging is just interesting too, because I don't feel like I belong in the United States, and I'm American. But long story short, the condensed version is I was born here, but I wasn't raised in the United States. So when I came back, I felt like I didn't belong. I don't know if I was Peruvian, or if I was an American, or if I was a Latino. Uh, what are you? And yeah, it's been 48 years of trying to find out my niche and my purpose too.
Right. Do you feel
And
like
luckily you found it. How old are you? I'm sorry.
I'm currently 27, about to be 28 this coming January.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm talking about Chinese zodiac. Anyway,
Mm.
uh, I'm trying to figure out if do you know what your sign is?
Yeah, if we're talking stars, I'm a Capricorn. If we're talking Chinese zodiac, I'm the rooster, the cock, whichever you want to call it.
Okay, rooster. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. And yeah, there's a long story behind that because I'm not gonna get into that, but
Mm.
I'll tell you later. Another podcast for that. Interesting. So yeah, you're 27. I mean, you're lucky like you found your passion, right? And I knew my passion way before 27,
Mm.
but I didn't explore it, or I didn't take it seriously, or I didn't take myself seriously. And you have. I mean, you're performing. Tell them where you were last night, because you were already on stage.
Last night, I was in downtown Gainesville at Bo Diddley Plaza performing as part of the 2020 election event in Central Florida.
Right. And it went great, right? You told me it was a good reception.
Yeah, pretty much all the people that was there, majority of them, I would say about 80% of them were strangers to me, and they all gave nothing but positive feedback about my message and the sound. So, yeah.
Okay. And so the message was go out and vote, I'm assuming.
Well, I would say the message of the event was to go out and vote. My particular sound selection of my set was more or less we are very aware of the problems and social clashing that's going on within this country. And though some of it is not talked about, I'm still aware of it. We're still aware of it. What can we do like within our community to pretty much make a change was like my message within my songs.
Right.
So
So for those I haven't really listened to your music yet.
mm.
To be honest, I haven't had time.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to, maybe if you can recite. I don't know if you want to sing it. It probably is easier for you to sing it. But what is some of the lyrics that you were sharing last night with your audience?
Well, the first song that I did was actually a remix. It's titled Neon. It's an original remix to my best friend Brand's song Neon. And that was the first song I performed. And that pretty much was a reflection of like what was going on from the George Floyd stuff all the way to the summer of 2020. And the verse goes, reflection of the lost boy inside the window pane. His mama crying and she screaming out his tender name. Chamber of Secrets doing magic when that thing revolving. Shedding blood for disputes that he's not involved with. They think it's so political, learned it from social media. People think they know it are simple because they reading up. Oh, you know your Twitter feed, but do you know yourself? Oh, you know them dollar signs, but do you know your wealth? And that pretty much was just like a reflection of the cops and everyone that's like within armed forces duty that's around the United States. Is just like you feel like you're actually serving this country and that you're serving a purpose, but at the same time, are you fighting for your purpose or are you just fighting for somebody else that has their own purpose and they're
Mm,
just paying you to do a job? And so
yeah.
that was one of the messages I was trying to relate to the people out there.
Mm, right. I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Um, Speaking of George Floyd, because yeah, I mean, who hasn't been? I have been affected by it. Um,
creatively too, where I think for the most part, all artists went through that period of time in March, up until now,
Right.
where we keep seeing the same thing, and I still see it every day. I still see it. I see the TikToks, and I see the people still being pulled by the cops. I think last week, yeah, last week there was an incident, and so I was talking to a cop, an officer last night,
Right.
and I explained to him like, okay, so this is what happened, and I explained a video that is probably on TikTok right now, and the guy is trying to say, how do you know I'm the suspect? I haven't given you my name. I haven't given you my ID. And he just they got very aggressive with him, and they just pulled him off the car, and he was resisting so much.
Right. Take your time.
I mean, there was a baby in the back seat.
All right.
His baby in the back seat, and so the one instant that he did, which I thought was interesting, is that he kissed his wife, or he tried to say, "I love you." I gotta edit this out. But anyways, the point is, um, people are on TikTok jumping on the wagon as to why the cops are doing what they were doing, and not
Right.
seeing the humanity in this um, video. That's a three-parter, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still in jail. The guy's still in jail. Um, anyways, I don't want him to become another hashtag.
Right.
And that's all I have to say about that, because it's just like, why are we still doing this in 2020? I mean, we're beyond. Um, in the 60s, it happened, in 90s. It's always like a cycle, and I don't understand why can't we stop the cycle?
I honestly just feel that obviously there's a big misunderstanding between the people that's in the occupation and then the civilians that they're supposed to be protecting, and there's most definitely a big blurred area when it comes to breaking down who is a civilian and then who is the what's the right word for this, the attacker, or whatever, that they call people in those situations when they make those
The
decisions.
suspect.
The suspect, there we go, that's the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's a big gray area in that, man. And me personally, I feel like there should be more mental evaluations of these people before they even get the job, because though they may have the right intention in mind when they sign up for the job, they shouldn't go for a job where they know they're going to be scared on duty. I feel like a lot of these situations happen because of the people that they're on duty and they're scared. They get the call, they show up, they don't know what they're getting themselves into, and they're already nervous before they get out the car doing their duty, and then it's too late. When something happens, you can't reverse it.
It escalates so quickly, and it takes a few seconds for this to go the wrong way, and it usually does. And luckily, this didn't happen this time, but it's America, and this is not the America that I thought I belonged to.
Right.
And so, regardless of what political views you have, or beliefs, or religious beliefs, or if you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you stand for. It's just human. It's a human being,
Right.
and they have a name, right? So I was trying to find out his name actually because this is important to find out like who is going through it. But I like I said, I don't want him to become a hashtag.
Right. So I understand.
You know, so. And so, yeah, it's an emotional thing for me to say because I think everybody goes through discrimination. I may not be stereotype as you might be, if you know what I mean. So, your experience is different than mine too. So I didn't grow up here knowing this racism is prevalent. I thought it was over in the 60s.
Yeah. That's what a
I
lot of
was
people.
like, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying this is honestly what a lot of people believe. Because like the state that I'm in now, Florida, this isn't my original home. I was originally born and raised in the state of Alabama, and so
Mhm.
with that being like a really southern state and one of the prime locations of like racism in
Yeah.
American history, uh, I grew up still experiencing that stuff. You know, as young as I am,
Mm.
and then when I came here and like all this stuff that has been happening like in the last 4 to 5 years and it being brought up in the news. And you know, it's just amazing to me being in a different location and the people that's so oblivious to this all. I've heard so many people in this city alone make the comment, I don't understand why people are doing all this. Like racism stopped a long time ago. It doesn't exist. Or I never seen it. And I'm just like, where have you guys been?
Mm.
Just
Right,
because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know?
right, right.
Yeah.
It's yeah. How can you not see it? Is my question. How can you not see the 8 minute long video in March? I mean, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen that by now, where
Yeah.
have you been? Like, dude. Yeah. I didn't want to get into this, um, but I have to. Like, and actually, I was gonna read something, but yeah, I got so emotional earlier that I didn't want to start because I was gonna choke. And it's actually something I wrote about how to protest.
Okay.
So because people say, you know, what have you done or have you been to the marching? And this isn't the way I protest. You know, it's not going out to the streets and getting coronavirus. That's not the way I protest.
Right.
So if I can share this and then I'll get off. Um, all right, so let me just, how do I protest when I'm scared to go outside? When I feel threatened every time a cop drives by? When the people I love fear for their lives every day? I open my mouth to speak, but my words fall on the concrete. How can they care how I feel if they don't care about our lives? So how do I protest if I'm not in the streets getting tear gas or getting COVID, losing my voice from screaming, getting tripped over and tumbled upon with the people who, like me, see no end to this madness that is America? How do I protest if I don't have a candidate that I could put my hand on the fire for? Do I really have an option? Or is it just bad or worse or none at all? If having my own opinion means be I need to be ashamed for exercising my rights as a citizen. If anything I say or do isn't enough, if I feel is helpless, or if my vote doesn't count. Um, sorry, no.
Take it out.
How do I protest if writing poems or thoughts on paper stay on the paper? Nobody really cares what I have to say. Nobody really listens because it's been years, decades, even centuries of us protesting and nothing has changed. Tell me, how do you think I should protest since you have an answer for everything? Since we're to blame for your transgressions, since our lives don't matter, since your rights overpower ours, since you run and hide after your heinous crimes, since you throw your stone and then blame it on the rock, or like blaming a gun for firing when it is you who pulled the trigger. You killed your brother like Cain killed Abel. When will you be able to set aside your pride and take ownership of your actions? So how do I protest when words have no meaning, if they are not backed by actions? Sometimes I feel that words get in the way. So I protest in silence. Because it's in the silence that I can hear the message loud and clear. So in silence, I protest.
It's deep, man.
I'm a mess. Anyways.
Are you good, man? It's okay to feel.
No, it's okay to feel. I just need to get through the whole
Yeah.
poem, and it's hard, like, and it's hard when it's happening, right?
Right.
So today's important because it's election day or the day after, and that
Yeah.
we still don't know what's going on. So yeah. Anyways, that's my time. I'm done. Open mic, off. Drop mic.
I most definitely feel your message on that, man. Hopefully I don't get like a lot of hate or backlash for this comment, but like I say all the time, like protesting is cool, but I feel like there's better ways to get the message across as a community. Now, for instance, the George Floyd thing, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave that subject alone for the rest of the podcast, but I feel like as far as this year, the protesting most definitely probably was needed to get the message across for that particular situation because, people in the United States is tired of what's going on with police brutality and everything else. But aside from that, I do feel like there's better ways for the communities and everybody to get the word across. Like instead of protesting, all those people that you get together marching up the street, let's get those same people in the city council meetings. You know what I'm saying? Like get them to the places where the leaders are and just have a conversation. Because the whole point of the protest, they're trying to get the attention of somebody that does have the power so they could go talk to somebody about it. Fuck that. We all got the power. Freedom of speech. Let's take it directly to the people ourselves. So.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm in LA, so I actually watched the city council, and that's a long story, but yeah, that's really powerful. When they were like 2 minutes to say something, and teenagers went on, and it was amazing. I'm like, yeah, let them hear you, let them hear your frustration, and what are you gonna do about it? I'm 17-year-old, and you're what, in your 60s, and you haven't figured it out yet. Like, what the hell?
Honestly, I think it would do like each city some good if just like, even if it was only twice a month, they held open forum conversations with the community where they just let the community come out and just speak their part on some of the stuff that needs to improve in the city. Even if it's just twice a month, I feel like that's doable. But hey, we're just people.
Because shit happens every day in in America. We should have a daily meeting actually, because they have to be held accountable. And actually, yeah, the officer I was talking to last night, Officer Mac is his name, in TikTok, or anyways, Mackenzie. So I was telling him, I'm like, I want you to be in my podcast and talk to people about it, like what is going on in your, because you might be the good apple, but the tree is already poisoned. Like, you have to cut the tree down.
I see what you did there. That's deep.
And he was like, he got quiet. So I don't know if I got through something, but I'm like, I know you're a good cop and all, and you have your good and bad cops, but the tree, the roots, they're just bad roots.
Right.
So I'm not saying defund the police, but I'm saying it right now. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not defund the police, but it's just like give other community projects more of the focus. Like we are artists too, so we have a community to serve, and theaters is important. Open mics are important. Music venues are important, and they're being closed down left and right. So where are we going to go?
Yeah,
You know,
they're not really
I don't
giving
know
people.
what it's I don't know what it's like in Florida, but here it's just not going to happen.
That's what it's. Well, it's already like this now in Florida. They shut all the clubs down and majority of the venues, and yeah, it's just going downhill from there. And then the city that I'm in now, Gainesville, even before this pandemic was even a thing, majority of this city is catered to the college out here. And the college was already buying out majority of the clubs as it is and turning it into student housing and everything. So like they were already kind of like diminishing anything that people were using to like express themselves out here. So it's just
Right. And also the thing with the essential jobs, and I'm quoting essential jobs. It's like everybody's job is essential.
yeah.
Your job is essential to promote unity and promote what you're promoting with your music.
Right.
And so is mine. My poetry is essential to me. So who are you to say what's essential and what's not essential?
Right.
That's my TikTok.
Well, this is a good
Uh,
conversation. Everything that we hit on so far, man.
yeah. So what do you want people to know about Azazus? What are you doing next? What is your next project? Next concert?
What do I want people to know about Azazus? Okay, so for you guys that's gonna tune into this that have never heard of me before, I think you guys should most definitely start with two popular songs of mine. That's Reaper and Onlyfans. As of 2020, both of those songs they're pretty popular, going viral. And what I'm working on next, let's see, what week would this be? And the second week of November, depending on when this is posted, the second week of November, I'm shooting a short film music video to my song It's a Crit, which is short for It's a Critical Hit. And it's basically a song that's referencing the anime culture and the gamer culture. So anybody that's, been into Nintendo and Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that stuff, you would probably be interested in tuning into this. So, yeah.
Right, right. You're still looking for actors, or you already found your?
I have a few extras that's casted already. I think I got about maybe 4 or 5 people. My goal was to have at least 10 to 20 because the plot, I don't feel like I'm giving away too much of the video by speaking on this, but the plot of the video that I have written with the director is we wanted to follow the shonen writing of anime, which is kind of like basically a plot that's catered to young adults, high school, college, and that's also the setting of the writing. It's like high school, college vibe, and it's going to be a classroom set full of young adults that have super abilities, kind of like My Hero Academia or X-Men, and that's the vibe that we were going for, and that's pretty much what we were trying to cast, and we're trying to get enough people to at least like make it seem like it's a classroom full of people.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not in Florida, but and I'm too old to be playing. I could be the teacher.
Right.
But yeah, that's actually I'm gonna post this tonight, so I don't know if you're gonna get this on time. Whoever's listening, but yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna post all the information, or if you have a link or your whatever it is you want to promote,
Okay.
will be in the link right below us, or right below you who's listening. Um, but yeah, and then I have to hear your music because I like the lyrics so far, but I have to hear it in the music form.
And I guess one thing that I should add for the people that may misinterpret what we're speaking on, and then they hear my music from 2020. I started off as a storyteller and conscious artist. So majority of the stuff that I performed at that election event was some of my older material. But as of like 2019, I started to make more melodic and fun music because I just comparing the analytics and the data from like over my sales from over the last few years, I noticed more people catered to the poppy club type songs over my storyteller music, which is why I still originally wanted to do, but at the same time, I'm thinking about this like a job, and I don't want to keep making material that's not really getting too many sales. So for the people that enjoy like the storytelling, hip hop and rap, most definitely check out my older stuff from like 2016 to 2018. And then from 2019 to 2020 and on up, it's going to be more poppy sounding stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, is that do you eventually want the people that are following you now to go back to where you were doing before?
Yeah, I most definitely do, because one of the main things all the time when people join my page communities on social media, they always have a million questions to ask me. And I tell everyone all the time, if you want to know more about me or my thoughts or what's inside of my head, listen to my music. And they think that it's just a sales pitch, but I try to tell them like it's not just a sales pitch. Like, all of my writing is either a memory or an experience that I've went through, and I'm telling a story within that song. And I'm pretty much giving like a dark part of myself that I don't even like to shed light on within those soundtracks, you know, especially the older music, because a lot of my storytelling rap came from a place of dark depression. And which is why I switched up my sound like this year and tried to make more poppy sounding stuff, because over the last few years, I pretty much got labeled as the emo rapper because my stuff was so sad, you know? So I tried to get out of the whole emo rap thing. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I won't get into much either because we only have like 7 minutes. But
yeah,
I understand what you mean, because there's a lot of emo music right now, which is a new thing that is not really, because we've been doing it before since the 80s or before that, where the vibration is really low in those songs. So I understand the switch. It's good to listen to, you know, sad music and all, but Billie Eilish is going to be not on my playlist anytime soon. Let's put it that way.
I guess.
Lord can stay, Adele can stay, but to a certain degree, I have to go back to my positive music.
Yeah. I guess
that can bring you down quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially TikTok too. TikTok is like grabbing onto those songs, like, you know, these songs about suicide, right?
Oh God, they eat it up on TikTok. That's a whole different breed of people on there. Not
Right.
everybody, but that community.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is a sad song. Not only a sad song, but it's encouraging people to harm yourself. And I'm like, that's no, jump off a bridge. What the fuck? Don't do that. Stay on the bridge, please. Hang on. You know. Yeah. But anyhow, I don't want to like start crying again. We only have 5 minutes. But yeah, thank you for you know, being here for my tech talk and my mental break, my breakdown that I had earlier. That will probably be edited out, or I might just put it on just because, hey, it's live. So,
It's realness, man.
right. And so, you didn't see this coming, guys. And I would like to invite not only Ah-zays-us to come back, but other artists to come back and collaborate. Not only on TikTok, you know, we're moving around. So if TikTok goes away for some reason, or whoever gets elected today decides to take it down, then hey, we'll go back to Instagram or YouTube or whatever.
Right.
So, you know, we're always moving around with the times.
Indeed.
Yeah. Any last thoughts?
Um, if you guys want to find me, I'm gonna make it easy for you. Azazus.com. I just got that domain this morning. Azazus.com.
All right. Now you know.
We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Lowe's Blog Talk Radio.